Duty go from this, yay, to this. Man, there's nothing I love more than relaxing on some good old Call of Duty. Okay, what the? If you're an old school COD player like me, you've had the disappointment of experiencing all the ways COD has changed throughout the years, but one of the most controversial ways is the movement. Lots of players from 6v6 multiplayer to battle
So
royale.
I started off from the OG Call of Duties, and I really think that the basic movement was based down to the skill only on your aim. But having movement definitely adds a huge skill gap. But y'all know for Call of Duty, they like to manipulate your gameplay. But I, I like the Omni movement. I like to be able to outskill someone by movement. It's fun. But sometimes it can get overwhelming and sometimes it can get a certain way. But I like Omni movement. And I like to move faster than other people, and I like to be able to use that as a skill gap.
Warzone love the way movement has evolved, but many others, including myself, hate it more than one-man army. So we're gonna break down how movement has evolved over the years and how it has ruined Call of Duty. But in order to break down the complete movement evolution of COD, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. Before COD 3, movement didn't even include a basic feature like sprinting, which is pretty crazy to think about. But when COD 3 released in 2006, that's when Treyarch introduced the sprinting mechanic, but it was later refined by Infinity Ward in the legendary COD 4. Now, as you know, COD 4, the original Modern Warfare, marks what we now call the golden era of the Call of Duty franchise. Players love this classic game, and I believe one of the biggest reasons is the innovation to movement. Introducing the sprint mechanic made multiplayer faster, which made the game more fun for players and laid the foundation for the franchise going forward. From 2007 to 2009, Call of Duty made zero innovations to movement mechanics, and that was okay. We adapted to gunfight advantages which COD's movement mechanics enabled, such as jump shotting and drop shotting, as annoying as they could be. The developers chose to keep things simple, and the players were happy.
Dude, now it's more like jump shotting is more OP, but back in the day when the movement was very basic, drop shotting was the best way to be able to drop the kill or outplay your opponent. Drop shotting was the most overkill thing back in the day.
However, after 3 years of zero innovation to movement, it was time for Treyarch to introduce something new: dolphin diving. Dolphin diving was originally introduced to players in Black Ops 1.
That's why I use
Although it gave
dolphin
no
diving
real
more
advantages
like
to players
trolling.
other than taking cover and evading bullets, it still became iconic. Just think of all the epic and funny moments made with your friends just from dolphin diving. Whether you were diving on an objective or diving off a roof, COD players loved this mechanic because it provided a new form of entertainment. Although Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer decided to leave this out in Modern Warfare 3, Treyarch chose to bring it back in Black Ops 2 due to its approval in Black Ops 1. But next year came the biggest innovation of all. Call of Duty Ghosts, obviously the greatest COD game ever, introduced the revolutionary mechanic: knee sliding. Yeah, this really didn't do much. It was just something cool to look at in the trailer. Okay, but seriously, next year came Advanced Warfare, and boy did it ever revolutionize COD movement. This disgrace of a game introduced Exo movement, where you could double jump.
So before he gets deep into the movement with Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, I really liked the Black Ops 3, but the idea of bringing exopets and being able to have a rocket basically on your freaking back and being able to launch a good amount of feet in the air. I mean, I really didn't like that. I've always liked Call of Duties with boot on ground. I mean,
basically in any direction, and Boost Slam, which honestly was a bit of a gimmick. Nobody cared after the first week. And oh yeah, you could slide too. Cool. Players utilize exo movement in gunfights to disrupt the enemy's aim, dodge bullets, and disappear from the scene like Houdini, and to ultimately make you nauseous. But you see, I utilize exo movement in a much more efficient way. I used it to quit the game, as many of us did,
for real.
after realizing advanced movement was not it. Black Ops 3 was up next, and it not only continued the advanced movement trend, it doubled down. From jetpacks and flying, to sliding like you're on an ice rink, to running on f***ing walls, one thing was for sure: Call of Duty was finding new ways to get me to quit forever. And here I am, still talking
see,
about
I never really liked Black Ops 3 movement.
Warfare and Black Ops 3 was fun. It was something new to learn which temporarily kept the gameplay loop fresh. Keyword, temporarily. I say that because it not only grew old on the community, but it forced me to stay on the classic COD games. I understand a lot of players absolutely love Black Ops 3, But when it comes to the multiplayer experience on that game, it just wasn't for me. If I wanted to play against
So, did y'all remember whenever most of these Call of Duties came out, a lot of us guys just kind of jumped back to Black Ops 2 and played Black Ops 2 more often, especially in the era after the prime of Black Ops 2, like 2014, 2015, even a little bit further along. A lot of people went back to Black Ops 2, and what I really liked about Black Ops 2 was quick scoping and trick shotting. And when these games came out based on the movement, and I agree with him to the point where I quit the game and I went back to Black Ops 2 to join with the community with quick scoping and trick shotting because it was just a lot more fun than running around with jetpacks on your back.
bunch of G Fuel addicts flying around, I'd play Halo. But this wasn't Call of Duty to me, and I felt by implementing advanced movement, Call of Duty had lost its casual and serious feel. I was done with it. After Infinite Warfare continued the same trend, the COD community was officially done with it too. Man, that game was so forgettable. So that's when World War II comes to save the day. The classic boots on ground movement system returned with, you guessed it, dolphin diving. All was right with the world again. Black Ops 4 did make minor changes to movement, which nerfed jump shotting and drop shotting, which I was not complaining about, and even added unlimited sprint to promote fast-paced, aggressive gameplay, but none of it was a game changer. That is, until the most polarizing Call of Duty arrived, Modern Warfare 2019. This piece of garbage changed COD movement in 3 major ways. Tactical sprinting offered faster movement speed to players with the drawback of slowing down ADS speed.
So I can't lie, I'm a Warzone player or former Warzone player. When they came out with this movement, it was definitely something that we had to learn as a skill. But I'm not gonna lie, with the movement we got now, I definitely rather have the 2019 Modern Warfare movement. Because even though with the skill-based matchmaking and everything else they put into this game, and when they brung in Warzone, they made a huge mistake with a lot of things, but the Rebirth Island and the smooth movement, smooth gameplay, the graphics, with Call of Duty now with the movement, I definitely would rather go back to this engine that Modern Warfare 2019 was on.
Loud-ass elephant footsteps slowed the game way down because players were scared to move forward without alerting the entire enemy team, and tactical sliding was introduced. What separated this mechanic from past CODs was the ability to slide cancel, basically as many times as you wanted. The COD movement lords abused this tactic in Modern Warfare
really did.
2019 and Warzone as well, and still do to this day. Black Ops Cold War took a more traditional approach with the removal of tactical sprint, and it honestly was the best movement system to me of any COD in the Warzone era.
I hate
So
Black
next
Ops
we
6.
have, screw it, Modern Warfare 2 2022. The community hated MW222's movement because of how slow it was. Players couldn't bunny hop or slide cancel or run at lightning fast speeds.
I don't care what nobody says, Modern Warfare 2 in 2022 was the hottest garbage that I've ever played in my entire life. I was on and off this game. The only good thing that was in the game was DMZ. And I really wasn't a big DMZ player, but I feel like that game mode was good. But when you talk about the movement between with this game, hot garbage, bro.
Looking back, it sounds like heaven, but no, seriously, the movement just didn't feel as fluid as Modern Warfare
It really
2019. So in Modern Warfare 3, Sledgehammer undid all of Infinity Ward's movement decisions. Ultimately, Sledgehammer gave us exactly what we wanted, and it still sucked and we still hated it. And that brings us to today, with Black Ops 6 and Warzone. I'm talking about the games that have lost more than half of their player base. If you ask COD players why this is the case, they'll tell you one of the biggest reasons is the controversial changes to movement. If there was one word that scared me about Black Ops 6, it was Omni movement. Now I can rant on and on about it, but I want you to let this clip speak for itself. Tell me if you know the feeling. Sometimes I want to like break the pitch of, I want to break the f***ing sound barrier. Thank God for Battlefield 6. So we've gone over the evolution of COD movement, and we've shown how it completely breaks down your will to live. Now, it's time to reveal how movement ruined Call of Duty, and it's very simple. Modern movement has made COD way too competitive, and I know, here come the Omni dorks. Still at you. But seriously, hear me out. Picture yourself playing Black Ops 2 in
See, the
2000.
problem with the movement Yes, like I said at the beginning of this video, that I love the movement. I love to be able to outplay another player. But when skill-based matchmaking implements into the game, you run into nothing but demo guys and freaking movement guys and TikTokers that do these crazy movement, and it kind of gets annoying with, especially when skill-based matchmaking is in the game and you have everybody doing the exact thing, double tapping Y, jump shot in every freaking kill, and doing all these advanced movements. It kind of gets old.
12. Remember how good that felt? How orgasmic? If not, I don't know what to say to you. Subscribe to redeem yourself. But man, back on BO2, everything was right in the world. Beavis and Butthead were only seen on TV, FaZe was actually cool, and most of all, movement was actually normal. As we covered earlier in the video, movement has evolved to exactly what it needed to be. Call of Duty didn't try to get too cute. No wall jumping, no jetpacks, and no nut dragging. The biggest thing you had to worry about back then was drop shotting.
Yep.
But the enemies didn't burrow into the ground within milliseconds like they do in Black Ops 6. You could still compete without sinking to that level.
Damn.
And drop shotting. So yeah, it was simple back then. Sprint, dolphin dive, jump shot, and drop shot. But here come the Omni dorks again. Oh yeah, well, you could do those things in Black Ops 6 too, Juan. What's the difference? Well, Omni dork, there is one big difference that changes the whole dynamic when it comes to movement in Call of Duty. Lightning McQueen said it best.
Speed. I am speed. I'm faster than fast, quicker than quick. I am lightning.
Back on Black Ops 2, you moved at a normal pace that didn't require you to snort a line of G Fuel. In Black Ops 6, you sprint at the speed of light itself. And again, that is the big difference. So you now have dudes who are jumping up and down non-stop like a kangaroo on crack, dudes burrowing into the ground like the rats that they are, and dudes sliding around the map like they're on an ice rink, all at lightning fast speeds. Is it crazy to say that this is a little bit overstimulating to a casual player? Why should we be forced to play like this to have a good game? Well, you know, until we lose enough consecutive games so skill-based matchmaking can reward us with a bot lobby. Thanks, Activision. But seriously, you get my point. I don't remember feeling genuinely overstimulated on an old COD game like Black Ops 2.
Yeah, so the thing with Call of Duty's movement, like I said, I like to be able to outplay my player by movement. But at the same time, I would rather them bring the OG movement back to where where your skill gap is only if you have better aim and you have basic out movement like drop shotting. It was a lot more simple back then. But now it just seems like everybody just cracked out. Just depends on your skill and depends on skill-based matchmaking. Depends how much they want to manipulate you. It all depends. It seems like every single lobby is manipulated to the point where everybody's doing the same exact thing. And I think that's where I'm getting at with myself. And that's one of the reasons I quit playing. Because everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody wants to be the next FaZe or the next TikTok, the YY TikToker. Everybody wants to make clips. Everybody wants to do all these crazy things. And you really don't run into the casual players. And I would say I'm between casual and a little sweaty because sometimes I like to get competitive. But this bullshit, you cannot get competitive for this. You either just play the game until you just get so mad to the point where you just want to break your shit. You just get off. I mean, that's exactly why I rarely or don't play the game at all. Because it feels like I'm stressed out more when I do play this game.
It was slowed down enough so that I didn't feel like I was developing Gen Z TikTok brain. I could actually keep up with the game and not get dizzy. And what happens when players can't abuse fast movement tactics like nut dragging? You rely most on your gunplay, your aim. It makes the gameplay feel a lot more casual and fun. And that's how it used to be. Like, wow, you're telling me I don't have to become Sonic the Hedgehog with an AK just to go 22 and 24 in Red Card? But yeah, the way movement has cranked up since Modern Warfare 3 2023, all the way up to Black Ops 6 and 7, makes Call of Duty multiplayer feel way too competitive. It's one thing to have a skill gap, which is fair, and that has always existed. But as a player who doesn't give a damn about trying to go pro, this fast Omni movement isn't fun to me. It's torture. So torturous that I made an entire video on it. So let me know what you guys think about movement in Call of Duty. Do you love it? or do you hate it like I do? But wait,
See, I hate it, then I don't. And that's kind of my debate, but since the video has just ended, tell me what you guys think about movement in Call of Duty. Is it ever going to change? In my opinion, I don't think it will ever change. What's going to take for it to change, or any big major changes, is when we stop buying the game and stop buying microtransactions. That is the only way that is going to happen, bro. But I'm out of here.